All pet owners know the pleasures in putting your dogs outside, but not everybody knows the difference between marking and going potty, and that is going to be the subject of today's lesson. Playtime is important to all our dogs, but what's even more important is that we understand that there's this protocol that has to be followed when sending your dogs out to go potty. Use your obedience training to establish control over your dog when you send them outside. In this case, you'll see my dad walks out ahead of the dogs stay, the other dogs wait for their turn, they come out, and all the dogs get to go out, sniff around and check out the bushes. You can see these dogs just came outside, went straight to the nearest bush, and they clearly are going pee. However, when you bring another male into the environment, in this case Brutus, then you'll see it turns more into a mark, which is a territorial behavior. He's sniffing around, checking out the area. Azura goes pee, but the male dogs don't worry about it. Now this is Karnak. He goes up to a bush, now it's turning into a mark. You see him spinning out there, Crush comes in behind him, marks the same area. As soon as Crush is done, Karnak comes back again and remarks that area. It's a constant marking and remarking. Now normally we wouldn't allow dogs to mark in the environment that I am standing in or that you are standing in as your own pet, but in this case I've allowed it so that we could use this to teach you guys the difference between marking and peeing. Here is Brutus again, marking the same area that Karnak and Crush had previously marked. Going poop or defecating can also be seen as marking. However, in this case obviously Crush is just going potty. Shortly after that you'll see he'll turn around and he'll check it out. He's not very comfortable with us standing there. The reason why dogs check out their poop is because they want to kind of see that everything is medically okay with themselves. There's Azura also going potty at the same time. So here comes my dad with his dogs, and we'll see as soon as they see the poop that Crush had done, they check it out. This is territorial. They want to see what other dogs are in their vicinity. Let's take a look at some marking and peeing behaviors. Clearly this is Jedi. He is marking. Checking out the odor, going back to the bushes again. As soon as he's finished, here comes the next dog, a lab, and he's marking the same area. Here we have three dogs together, and there's obviously something really good on the ground that they're checking out. Clearly back to marking again. After Jedi leaves, Ludwig decides to mark that area again. It's a short, quick squirt. He goes back, then he wants to check it out. You'll see he'll actually sniff at it, and he'll mark it one more time. Licking their own urine, while disgusting to some, is a perfectly normal behavior, often referred to as tonguing. While a little controversial, it's similar to the Fleming response seen in horses and other animals, and is perfectly okay for your dog to do. This tongue curl allows the dog to transfer scent to the vomeronasal organ located just behind the upper teeth and the upper palate of the dog. This allows the dog to identify dogs around them and basically make a determination as to what's going on. You'll often see it's followed by heavy salivation. Dogs will even mark female scent. Azura's gone pee, Crush is checking it out. He was about to pee, but then Karnak came into that space. The shake off from Crush is also typical of territorial behavior. Here goes Karnak, he's marking and peeing on the same area where Azura had been a few seconds ago, and you'll see even a spin out. Now spin outs are to be discouraged. Here's Crush going back, marking the same area. Karnak was going to come in, but that was a little bit insulting for him, so he trots off the other side, and there he's probably going to go mark, but in a different area. A few seconds later he's back again, checking out where the odor is, making sure he hits the right spot, and he goes back and he marks the same area. Now, as I said previously, we should discourage dogs marking in your vicinity, and you see how Karnak was actually looking at me? He knows that this is wrong, and so he's looking to see if I'm going to say anything, and because I didn't, he kind of just walked away. Comes Crush, back to the same area, marking the same area again. So keep in mind, when we're talking about marking and training, we want to discourage it. So how do we? Well, the first thing you can do is, as soon as you see your dog sniffing and it looks like they're going to mark, give them a verbal correction, something like a no or a hey, something like that. There's Crush. Now that's actually a pee. He's off on his own. He's taking a longer time. He's peeing. There's no other dogs around, so he's actually taking a pee. Some tips. First of all, don't allow spinning. It's inappropriate, it's territorial, and it's wrong. Secondly, discourage your dogs from marking near you, as we talked about earlier on. It's the wrong thing to do. Lastly, don't allow marking of each other. That allows the dogs to spar with each other, and in effect, you should be in control. You see Karnak spinning out there, and Crush is back marking the same area again. And then lastly, keep in mind, both males and females will mark. Females not as common, but it depends on the situation and the environment that they're raised in. Spaying or neutering a dog will also reduce marking, but remember, if you've waited until 3 or 4 years or more before neutering or spaying them, by that stage the behavior is already established. Maintaining your dog's obedience and training will also help, as it counteracts the effect of the territorial behavior. You can obviously let them play and run around, but remember that you are the master, you are in control of your territory, and if you don't take control, they will.